Just one game into the season, the Pittsburgh Steelers did little to quell the notion that they were better than the 6-10 record from 2003. After a strong start against the Raiders in Game 1 at Heinz Field, the Steelers disappeared in the fourth quarter to let an old Raiders team erase a 2-score lead. It would take a final drive in the fourth quarter and long field goal in the waning seconds to win the game. However, the Steelers' identity was clear. Run the football with Duce Staley, pound it in the end zone with Jerome Bettis, and only put the ball in the shaky hands of Tommy Maddox when necessary to generate big plays. They would play hard-nosed defense with Polamalu, Porter, Casey Hampton, and with a 1-0 record and still more to prove, they would make their way to Baltimore to see what they were really made of against Ray Lewis and the Ravens. Hi all, I'm Ron John, and this is Steelers Therapy, and we are the source of well-balanced Steelers coverage that puts each and every game into perspective, highlighting the details, expectations, ramifications, and drama of each and every matchup. This game will showcase a turning point in Steelers history. It will pave the way for who the Steelers would become over the next 2 decades as a future Hall of Famer is born. Will the Steelers show the Ravens they are kings of the AFC North, or will they come up short in this crucial divisional matchup? Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Let's dive in. It was Sunday, 19 September 2004, 1 p.m. The 1-0 Pittsburgh Steelers visited the 0-1 Baltimore Ravens, who came off getting thumped by the Cleveland Browns 3-20 in Cleveland. It was a clear 67-degree day and another beautiful day for a game of football. The Ravens were favored by 4 points with an over-under of 35.5. The Steelers' QB, Tommy Maddox, along with Jerome Bettis, Heinz Ward, Troy Polamalu, and Joey Porter filled out their starting roster. The Ravens' QB, Kyle Boller, was highlighted by players like Jamal Lewis, Terrell Suggs, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and Deion Sanders. Both teams boasted powerful defenses and a robust rushing attack while only throwing the ball when necessary with their middling to lower tiered quarterbacks. The Ravens won the toss and elected to receive the kickoff. After receiving the kickoff, they proceeded to run Jamal Lewis right down the Steelers' throat, who seemed to have no answers for the Baltimore Ravens running game. After a punishing drive, the Ravens finally punched the ball in the end zone with Jamal Lewis to go up 7-0 on a Matt Stover extra point. The Ravens then kicked the ball off to the Steelers, who proceeded to sputter and were not even able to get a first down on the arm of Tommy Maddox, who threw multiple incompletions to Plexico Burress. After a punt by Chris Gardocki, the Ravens would get the ball back and proceed to feed Jamal Lewis again. After a few incomplete passes by Kyle Boller and a sack by Deshae Townsend, the Ravens punted the ball back to the Steelers. Tommy Maddox and Duce Staley would again be unable to move the ball, resulting in another punt right back to the Ravens with little time left in the quarter. With great field position, the Ravens and Jamal Lewis continued to run the ball down the Steelers' throat to end the first quarter. The start of the second quarter saw more Jamal Lewis and a little bit more from Kyle Boller as the Ravens got themselves in field goal range and went up 10-0 on the toe of Matt Stover. With the Steelers' running game ineffective against the stout Ravens defense, Tommy Maddox takes to the air to put the Steelers in field goal range, only for Jeff Reed to miss a 48-yard field goal and an opportunity to cut into the Ravens' lead, who were now in good field position. The Ravens get the ball back and quickly go 3-and-out, giving the ball right back to the Steelers deep in their own territory. From there, the Steelers started to get Duce Staley going but unfortunately, Tommy Maddox didn't follow suit, and the Steelers' drive would sputter with another punt to the Ravens. The Steelers forced another 3-and-out on the Ravens, making them give the ball right back to the Steelers. The Steelers' offense would continue to struggle with another punt deep in their own territory that was returned by B.J. Sams for 33 yards to the Steelers' 22-yard line. Fortunately for the Steelers, the Ravens were unable to capitalize on this great field position and settled for another Matt Stover field goal to go up 13-0 in the final minutes of the half. This left the Steelers no time to do anything with the ensuing kickoff and drive. The Steelers would come out of the half to receive the football in the third quarter in what would begin a disastrous drive, with Tommy Maddox being sacked by Gary Baxter, with the ball recovered by Terrell Suggs and returned to the Steelers' 1-yard line. Tommy Maddox would be injured on this play, which would put the game in the hands of the rookie quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. Jamal Lewis and the Ravens would easily punch the ball in for a touchdown to go along with a Matt Stover extra point to go up 20-0. The Steelers simply had no answers on offense. The Steelers would get the ball back, managing only one measly first down, seemingly scared to give Roethlisberger a chance to throw the ball, having only rushed Duce Staley and Verron Haynes. They would again punt the ball back to the Ravens without making significant progress on offense. After a short drive by the Ravens, the Steelers' defense finally got stingy, making them punt the ball back to the Steelers to give the kid rookie another try. The Steelers would start their next drive midway through the third quarter, with Ben Roethlisberger's second pass being intended for Heinz Ward, but intercepted by Baltimore at midfield. At this point, neither the quarterback or running back position was working for the Steelers on the road against Baltimore. The Steelers' defense would then stay stingy and force a 3-and-out versus the Ravens to give the kid Ben Roethlisberger another shot to redeem himself from the poor start. Unfortunately, the Steelers would only be able to muster one first down before giving the ball back to the Ravens on a punt by Chris Gardocki. The stingy Steelers defense would continue to hold the Ravens to 3-and-outs and would give the Steelers offense the ball back just before the end of the third quarter. As the fourth quarter began, Big Ben would start to heat up with a pass to Heinz Ward for 58 yards to set up a short completion to Antoine Randall for a touchdown, cutting the lead 20-7 and giving the Steelers some hope the game could be saved. However, the stingy Steelers defense would bend as the Ravens methodically drove down the field, taking up clock and putting up another 3 points on the toe of Matt Stover. With little time left in the game, the Steelers would rely on Big Ben Roethlisberger and his arm to get them back in the fight. Big Ben quickly led the Steelers downfield, resulting in a touchdown pass to Heinz Ward, but would fail to convert a 2-point conversion pass to Plexico Burress. With the game still in reach, the Steelers defense would do their part and get the ball back with just under 4 minutes left at their own 9-yard line. Ben Roethlisberger continued to show progress by driving the Steelers to midfield, but in an attempt to make something happen with little time left, he was intercepted by Chris McAllister, who would take the interception 51 yards for a Ravens touchdown, effectively putting the game out of reach as Baltimore went up 30-13. A couple drives were traded, and the Ravens would kneel on the ball and hand the Steelers their first loss of the 2004 season. The game would end 13-30 with the Steelers' loss, not covering the +4 spread, but going over the 35.5 total. While the game was effectively a blowout, there was something different about the Steelers' offense under Ben Roethlisberger. Although he started off shaky with a pick and threw another pick six to seal the game, he showed tremendous poise in the ability to push the ball down the field, something the Steelers hadn't seen since they had quarterback Terry Bradshaw decades earlier. With the Steelers now 1-1 and more questions than answers about their future, a glimmer of hope emerged by Big Ben's performance. The Steelers would now find themselves searching for their identity in their next game against Jason Taylor and the Miami Dolphins. This is the story of how the 2004 Pittsburgh Steelers lost Game 2 to go 1-1 on a 2004 season that would become historic. Thanks for watching. Once again, I'm Ron John. This is Steelers Therapy. Until next time.